the headlines of VTV News, top leader arrives in Paris for Francophonie Summit official visit to France. Agricultural, forestry and fishery exports to reach $55 billion target. And later on in our world news, North Korea's Kim warns of nuclear response if sovereignty breached, according to KCNA.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News, broadcast live to you from Hanoi. You're with me, Lina Pham, and here's the top news of the hour. Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm and his delegation landed at Orly Airport in Paris on October the 3rd evening, local time, to participate in the 19th Francophonie Summit and make an official visit to France from October the 3rd to the 7th at the invitation of French President Emmanuel Macron. The top Vietnamese leaders' participation in the summit aims to reaffirm Vietnam's role as a key member of the Francophonie community in Asia-Pacific. It also demonstrates the country's active and responsible engagement in the activities of both the Francophonie community and the international community as a whole, helping to enhance multilateralism and international cooperation and solidarity. This visit also marks the first by a Vietnamese president to France in 22 years, with the goal of deepening and strengthening the bilateral strategic partnership. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has asked entrepreneurs to promote their pioneering role in seizing opportunities generated by international integration and Industry 4.0, chairing a meeting held between cabinet members and business people on October the 4th in Hanoi to mark Vietnam Entrepreneurs Day, October the 13th, 2004 to 2024. The government chief emphasized that the party, state, and government consistently support Vietnamese entrepreneurs who play a key role in boosting socio-economic development while further promoting the country's reputation and position within the international arena. He called on them to revitalize traditional growth engines, utilize new boosters, and engage in newly emerging trends and areas of the world. More than 300 international delegates from 15 countries and territories attended the 20th Asia-Pacific Women Scientists and Engineers Network Conference at the Hoa Lạc High-Tech Park in Hanoi. Vice Chairwoman of the National Assembly, Nguyễn Thị Thanh, was present at the event. This year's conference theme is the role of women in science and technology and international integration for sustainable development. The event also features engaging sideline activities, including visits to the Vietnam Space Center, an exhibition of paintings by female artists, a showcase of scientific and technological products by female scientists from various countries, and performing arts. This is Vietnam's second time hosting this international event organized by the Vietnam Association of Women Intellectuals in coordination with the Vietnam Women's Union. In his recent speeches, Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm delivered a powerful message. Vietnam is facing a new starting point, a new era, the era of national growth. This sentiment aligns with the party's determination expressed at the recent 10th Central Conference. The country's successes under the party's leadership have firmly consolidated the Vietnamese people's belief in entering this new era of national growth.
Every year, the School of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at Hanoi University of Science and Technology trains about 600 students in the semiconductor industry. This sector is poised to become a key national sector in the near future, as information and databases increasingly serve as crucial inputs for production.
I firmly believe that the microchip design industry will develop in the future, propelling Vietnam onto the global technology stage.
Vietnam has the chance to develop its semiconductor industry. Only by establishing a strong technology sector can we increase labor productivity in technological capabilities and improve Vietnam's position and economic standing.
A mindset prepared for the country's new development stage is increasingly evident across many levels, industries, and fields. This readiness forms the basis for the entire nation to rise in the new era.
So by 2045, when we commemorate the 100th anniversary of independence, Vietnam will likely become a high-income country under the party's leadership, with stability and the contributions and consensus of the people.
The state's policy, the nation's will, and individual aspirations all share the same goal, to promote each person's full potential. Vietnam's potential is immense, and its spiritual strength will create the premise for other material strengths.
The party's Central Committee endorsed this message at the recent 10th Central Conference. Under the party's wise leadership and the foundation of strength built over 40 years of renovation, Vietnam is poised to make breakthroughs and enter a new era, the era of national growth.
By the end of the third quarter, the total export turnover of agricultural, forestry, and fishery products reached $46.3 billion, a 21% increase over the same period last year. Although only 3/4 of the year has passed, the agricultural sector has already achieved 84% of its annual target and is poised to reach the $55 billion goal. However, the impacts of natural disasters and declines in raw materials are issues that need to be overcome to maintain the current growth.
Fruit and vegetable exports have reached a record high of $5.7 billion to date. The export value for the past 9 months equals that of the entire year 2023. Durian exports alone earned $2.5 billion. This remarkable result is thanks to active market opening and penetration efforts.
Many new customer groups are coming to buy. There are also year-end orders, indicating that the quality of Vietnamese durian has improved.
These figures could increase even further if the issues of planting area codes and packing facilities are resolved quickly and effectively. To date, Vietnam has issued codes for durian growing areas covering nearly 24,000 hectares, less than 7% of the total production area. The lack of this passport could hinder Vietnamese agricultural products in key markets such as China.
This requires the participation of local associations such as the Vietnam Farmers Union and Vietnam Cooperative Alliance to create conditions for people to breed plants and have enough growing area and conditions to register for planting area codes.
Typhoon Yagi's recent impact has led to a 0.33% decrease in agricultural growth. The storm damaged over 560,000 hectares of rice, crops, and plants, as well as more than 30,000 hectares of aquaculture. This reduced supply could potentially drive up raw material prices.
For short-term products such as shrimp and seaweed, we have supported immediate production. For products that require longer periods of time, we have worked with localities to connect supply and demand so that farmers have enough breeds and livestock to ensure supply until early 2025.
The end of the year typically sees a sharp increase in demand for imported food. Vietnam's agricultural sector is prioritizing rapid production restoration and expanding its presence in neighboring countries to seize this opportunity for a breakthrough.
Nearly 100 businesses from 31 provinces and cities across Vietnam are taking part in the 20th Vietnam Craft Village Fair, which opened in Hanoi on October the 3rd. The festival, covering an area of 1,000 square meters, showcases typical handicraft products from traditional craft villages throughout the country. It also features agricultural products that meet the One Commune, One Product or OCOP standards of 3 stars or higher, along with products bearing geographical indicators. organic items, and local specialties, craft villages in the north account for nearly 40% of the country's total, with the highest concentration in the Red River Delta, about 1,500 villages, of which approximately 300 are recognized as traditional craft villages. The fair aims to enhance the image and competitiveness of handicraft products in both domestic and foreign markets. Vietnam's traditional craftsmanship is making waves on the global stage. Blending ancient techniques with modern design, local artisans are incorporating Vietnamese materials into their creations, now found in homes worldwide. This fusion of traditional touches with modern furniture is driving international demand and boosting Vietnam's wood product exports.
The use of lacquer, pearl inlay, and cast bronze is a key strategy used by this interior design company to create a unique identity for its products. This approach has appealed to international customers, enhancing exports.
I was captivated at first sight. The combination of high-quality materials and traditional Vietnamese elements is outstanding. I truly feel the essence of Vietnam in my own home.
This architect and his team are committed to producing furniture that meets international standards while highlighting traditional Vietnamese values. Their research focuses on how to emphasize these cultural elements in their designs.
We use materials sourced from nature, especially lacquer, mother of pearl, and cast bronze, all handcrafted and developed in traditional Vietnamese villages. Our goal at Vietnam Interior is to create furniture that meets international quality standards while showcasing Vietnam's rich tradition and culture.
The Vietnam Furniture Association strongly supports this approach, encouraging young designers to continue innovating while preserving Vietnam's distinctive cultural heritage.
We are deeply focused on integrating tradition with modernity. We hope that Vietnam will develop a signature interior design style that stands alongside other nations in the region and the world.
Despite ongoing challenges, the warming international market indicates that exports will remain a key driver of economic growth in the year's final months.
And before we move to the next part of VTV News, let's check out how the Vietnam dong is weighed against other currencies in the world market today. Coming up next, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu implements ethnic group support policies. And Vietnam to achieve the target of 18 million international visitors in 2024. Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province is home to nearly 9,000 ethnic households, making up 3% of its population. However, throughout its development, the province has consistently allocated substantial resources to improve the lives of these ethnic groups. This investment focuses particularly on infrastructure, helping to narrow the development gap between ethnic communities and contributing to the province's overall progress.
Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province has enacted a specialized resolution focused on socio-economic development in areas inhabited by ethnic groups. To date, the province has allocated $27.4 million to fund 114 transportation projects, 28 medium and low voltage power projects, the construction of 4 irrigation systems, and 23 domestic water supply projects.
This road used to be red soil. Last year, the government built this road.
Along with investing in essential infrastructure, the province also allocated $4.1 million to implement direct support policies for ethnic groups in need, building and repairing 859 houses, and installing electricity and water systems for daily life and production.
The local government has supported the construction of houses, toilets, and clean water systems. Now that I have a stable home, I'm motivated to work even harder for a better life.
Based on the province's multi-dimensional criteria, 78 ethnic households, representing 0.96% of the ethnic population, are still classified as poor.
In the coming period, we will continue to implement support policies for ethnic groups and specific policies of the province, thereby contributing to the implementation of Resolution 05 of the Provincial Party Committee on improving the quality of life and happiness of the people.
During the 2024 to 2029 period, the province aims to eradicate poverty among ethnic groups, ensuring they benefit fully and promptly from all social security policies.
The Vietnam General Confederation of Labor has announced its 2025 Lunar New Year or Tết plan for workers, which includes providing around 2,000 round-trip train tickets and 400 one-way plane tickets to help workers return home for Vietnam's biggest holiday of the year. The beneficiaries will include all union members and workers, with a priority given to those in particular difficult circumstances, such as those affected by work-related accidents, occupational diseases, serious illnesses, natural disasters, or those who have experienced reduced work hours, job loss, unpaid wages, or bonuses. Aquaculture is highly vulnerable to extreme weather, especially during the rainy and flood season. Farmers in Hà Tĩnh province, particularly in brackish water areas, have been actively implementing various solutions to mitigate risks during this period.
In Nam Phuc Thang Commune, Dung and other members of the local aquaculture group are preparing to harvest their fish ahead of the impending floods. This requires careful planning, including timing the stocking and fighting virus in alignment with the flood season. Thanks to these measures, over the past 5 years, farmers in the area have shifted from fleeing floods to being prepared for them. This season, Dung's 19,000 square meter fish farm yielded 5 tons of fish.
Unless there's an unusually severe storm, we're now confident in handling the situation.
Since 2020, the Hà Tĩnh Farmers Association has been providing timely financial support to local farmers through a special fund, helping them prepare for the flood season. This fund assists farmers in securing essential resources such as breeding stock and feed. In Nam Phuc Thang alone, a total of $52,500 has been disbursed to 13 households with a 3-year repayment period.
After receiving the funds, the households have used the money effectively. They've formed cooperative groups to share resources like breeding stock, materials, and technology, which has significantly boosted their economic outcomes.
Our family also benefited from this initiative. It allowed us to improve our infrastructure by upgrading from steel cages to stainless steel ones.
In addition to providing loans, the Farmers Association regularly organizes training sessions to share knowledge and best practices for disasters preparedness. These combined efforts have led to a remarkable 90% reduction in annual storm and flood-related losses in the local aquaculture sector.
Lào Cai province is increasing support for children facing particularly difficult circumstances after Storm Yagi. The entire province currently has more than 1,900 children in special circumstances, including 153 orphans. Among them, there are 7 children who have lost both parents and 42 who have lost either their mother or father. The Provincial Department of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs is calling on agencies, organizations, and local communities to collaborate and mobilize philanthropists to help support and encourage these children in need, easing their hardships and empowering them to overcome their challenges. Vietnam is determined to reach 18 million international visitors this year. To achieve this target, the tourism industry will promote many solutions in the 4th quarter as of the end of August, Vietnam had welcomed just over 11 million international visitors. The Vietnam National Administration of Tourism considers the fourth quarter the golden time for attracting international visitors. Consequently, they believe the goal of 17 to 18 million international visitors this year remains achievable. Recently, Vietnam successfully hosted a delegation of 4,500 Indian tourists, contributing to tourism growth in the past month. To capitalize on the expected rapid increase in Indian visitors, the tourism industry has developed a strategy to promote tourism and organize numerous events targeting the world's most populous country. On the occasion of the 70th anniversary of Hanoi's Liberation Day, October the 10th, Hanoians have many ways to show their love for the capital city. The long-standing culture of Hanoi is a treasure to many generations of Hanoians as they strive to preserve the local culture and traditions. Join our trip to Doi Khê village, Dan Phượng district to discover how villagers spread their love for the homeland.
To celebrate the 70th anniversary of Hanoi's Liberation Day, Dan Phượng authorities have launched a short filmmaking campaign. Locals are encouraged to make short videos about local culture and post their products on social media. This is an opportunity for young people to introduce others to the beauty of their homeland.
When I was asked to carry out a program about local culture, I came up with a plan to make a short video introducing it and the legendary heroes who contribute to the founding of this nation. In this way, I want to show my deep love and gratitude for my fatherland.
These villagers are introducing the process of making bánh tè, a type of steamed rice cake and one of Dan Phượng specialties.
I'm very proud of my hometown specialty.
Eat bánh tè once and you will remember its taste.
Since the campaign was launched, 129 videos clips have gone viral and 129 check-in spots have been established throughout Dan Phượng district. Locals have donated nearly $81,000 to various programs to introduce the beauty of the local landscape, culture, and people.
While visiting check-in spots, young people can feel more proud of their homeland and become more aware of their responsibilities to preserve the local traditions and culture.
The capital city, home to 36 old streets and tunnel-like alleys, with its history spanning more than 1,000 years, holds valuable cultural values that have been passed down through the generations. The beauty of Hanoi is also highlighted in the architecture of French colonial buildings and traditional villages. Hanoi, through the eyes of the locals, is always a place worth living in.
Coming up next in our world news, North Korea's Kim warns of nuclear response if sovereignty breached, according to KCNA. And new NATO chief Mark Rutte visits Ukraine. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has warned that his country would not hesitate to use nuclear weapons if any force is used to violate its sovereignty. The statement was made as the North Korean leader inspected a training base of Army Special Operation Units on Wednesday. According to the Korean Central News Agency, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un threatened that if any country attempts to use armed forces to encroach on the country's sovereignty, Pyongyang would use without hesitation all the offensive forces it possesses, including nuclear weapons. North Korea has for decades pursued a nuclear weapons program and is believed to have enough fissile materials to build dozens of such weapons. It has conducted 6 underground nuclear detonation tests. The new Secretary General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, Mark Rutte, paid a visit to Ukraine on Thursday in his first official trip since taking office. Ruth met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv and discussed a plan to end the conflict in Ukraine. Addressing a joint press conference, Ruth reaffirmed NATO's support for Ukraine's future NATO membership. Ukrainian President Zelensky said he and the new NATO Secretary General discussed the battlefield situation and his plan to end the conflict. England's National Health Service, or NHS, will offer a weight loss drug to nearly 250,000 people as part of a 3-year plan to reduce obesity. The NHS proposes that individuals with a BMI of at least 35 and those with at least 3 weight-related disorders will be first in line. Local health authorities have cleared the drug, called Mounjaro, for both type 2 diabetes and obesity patients. A national survey indicates that about 64% of adults in England are either overweight or living with obesity. Mu Deng, the baby pygmy hippo born in July at Thailand's Khao Khiao Open Zoo, has garnered millions of fans on social media with her pink cheeks and pin-sized charm. Her influence now extends far beyond the digital realm, sparking a remarkable small business boom in Thailand. More on this to follow.
In Bangkok, a cake shop has started creating an entire menagerie of hippo-shaped cakes, drawing crowds and boosting local business. After posting their hippo-shaped cake on social media, it quickly went viral, amassing 6 to 7 million engagements. This resulted in more than 100 pre-orders and caused a surge in overall orders.
We've been sculpting cakes every day until morning. But it's also made us $3,111 in just 10 days.
Thailand's blind box art toys market has also found an unlikely hero in Mu Deng. Blind box art toys have become a staple in modern pop culture in Thailand. Since the product launched on social media, pre-orders surged to over 1,000, bringing an income of around $4,662 within 1 week.
Normally, for 1,000 mystery boxes, it would take me about a month. But once the Mu Deng trend started, the pre-order bookings skyrocketed, and it only took 2 to 3 days to produce 1,000 mystery boxes.
Mu Deng's popularity has also inspired a variety of businesses, from cosmetics to fashion, and even attracted attention from global corporations, both in Thailand and abroad.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can log on to our VTVgo or tune in our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.